If you add up every registered voter in North America and combine them with every registered voter across all of Europe, you still fall short of the sheer scale of India's electorate. In 1947, the global consensus was that a democratic system here would fail. The region was newly partitioned, deeply impoverished, and fractured along vast linguistic and religious lines. The structural prerequisites for a stable republic simply did not exist. So how did a nation facing such extreme initial deficits successfully design and execute the largest voting system in human history? Many Western nations meted out voting rights slowly over centuries, testing the waters with property, educational, or gender requirements. India chose a different path: complete, immediate, universal adult franchise from day one. The Constitution Assembly, tasked with drafting the new republic's rules, had to build a governance framework capable of balancing a massive, diverse population while under intense pressure to unify the country. The logistical timeline was incredibly tight. Under the leadership of civil servant Sukumar Sen, the bureaucracy began compiling a staggering electoral roll of 173 million eligible voters before the Constitution was even finalized. The operation required massive physical adaptations. Because the vast majority of the new electorate was illiterate, the 1951-52 election utilized a system of distinct, colored ballot boxes assigned to specific candidates and marked with visual symbols. Over a few short years, this highly coordinated bureaucratic effort transformed millions of colonial subjects into sovereign voting citizens, establishing a blueprint for a state machine of colossal proportions. India's architecture divides power. At its core is a bicameral parliament, the Lok Sabha, and the Rajya Sabha. Executive authority splits between the president and prime minister. Finally, the Independent Election Commission of India is structurally insulated to oversee the polls. This separation of powers was engineered to create a functional central authority that acts decisively, while absorbing the intense regional and cultural diversity of the subcontinent. Fast forward to today. That initial blueprint operates at a scale straining comprehension. 980 million eligible voters, selecting representatives across 543 distinct constituencies. By law, no voter should have to travel more than 2 kilometers to cast a ballot. This mandate forces polling officials to carry election equipment across extreme environments, from dense jungles to high-altitude Himalayan passes, often setting up booths for a single remote voter. This diagram shows the electronic voting machine, or EVM, paired with a paper audit trail system called VVP8. These battery-operated machines allow the Election Commission to securely process hundreds of millions of votes without relying on fragile external power grids. The legal text of the Constitution matters, but the physical survival of India's democracy relies entirely on this recurring logistical mobilization. The system continues to achieve major participatory milestones. Recently, the historical gender gap in voter turnout has completely closed, with female participation rates now matching or exceeding men. But structural frictions are intensifying. Political campaigns have grown exponentially more expensive, leading to a heavy reliance on corporate funding and raising concerns about the sheer volume of money influencing the electoral process. This radar chart from the V-Dem Institute tracks the specific qualities of India's democracy over time, and it highlights a clear contraction in recent years, particularly in the egalitarian and deliberative indices. This external downgrade is driven by specific, measurable data points, including increased pressure on the press, the enforcement of outdated sedition laws, and a rise in digital polarization. These friction points are the ultimate stress test. They demand an answer to whether a constitutional blueprint drafted in 1947 can withstand the hyper-concentrated wealth and instantaneous information flow of the 21st century. That stress test is about to hit an entirely new gear. India boasts a massive youth demographic, meaning a wave of millions of newly eligible, highly connected voters are continually entering the electorate. With widespread smartphone penetration, data-driven campaign strategies, and the rapid deployment of AI, the methods of persuading and mobilizing this massive block of voters are evolving faster than the regulations designed to monitor them. Despite extreme domestic friction and intense international scrutiny, the massive mobilization required to execute this system remains intact. The scale, ambition, and continued operation of this electoral engine cements it as humanity's greatest ongoing democratic experiment.